Hi guys, Chris here, back with the Mi 9. As you can see, now I've used it, this is now day number 5, so I'm going to update you on battery stats, but a few other things. There's been a lot of questions in the comments. Thank you so much for those that have watched my whole very lengthy hands-on review of this phone. So a lot of people are mistaking my negativity in the video. They don't understand. Well, my videos are a little bit different, my reviews, because I don't focus on just the positives, but I also cover any cons that I discover in the devices. And a lot of people, they don't particularly like that. They think it's negative. But if you didn't watch right to the end of my video, I'm overall very impressed with this phone. It is a great phone. And as I said, it is Xiaomi's best yet. Really good display. So 800 lux brightness is maximum brightness. Really good. And the full gesture lag is gone completely, finally. And I know I've been moaning about it for a long time, but it's been something that's been bugging me because when you would go up to your recent apps or home, you would see these animation stutters and even just sometimes scrolling through things. But I'm so pleased that it has finally been fixed. And it's either the third firmware or because the GPU, the CPU in the Snapdragon 855 is so fast. Now, I didn't expect to see much of a difference. You can't really tell too much of a difference real world use until you really start to game. I will show you some games later on. You'll see right here, I do have Fortnite. I'll show you how that runs. I know a lot of people have been asking me, how does Fortnite run? So you don't see a massive difference going from the 845 to the 855. However, using it now, it just feels so much faster than my Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. I mean, that phone is quick, but this is even quicker. Everything is just really good load times. So there's been a lot of questions about the notifications. Maybe I wasn't so clear in my video. They are not showing for me. Now, they do briefly show when you unlock, when you plug it in, when you start to download something. Okay, they're not going to show for me right now. So they're not showing, and I should have a lot of notifications. I have a lot of things in there. So if I go into Play Store now, I mean, just look how fast everything is loading up. So I just decide, okay, I'm going to start to download this. Now you see what will happen. Now, look, there's all the notifications, okay? And then they disappear. So that's the bug. They're there, and they should stay there, but for some reason they're going. And that's just a slight annoyance. It's a bug. I'm sure they're going to fix it. Maybe in a week's time, it's gone, it's fixed, it's not even a problem. A lot of people are going to then see my review and go, what is Chris talking about there? There's been a lot of questions as well. People have been asking about the wireless charging. Now, some incorrect information going around saying it doesn't support the Qi standard or QI, whatever you want to call it. It does support Qi. I don't know where that information is coming from. People telling me, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. This is a 10 watt charger. Place the phone down. And you can see, yeah, that it is charging and it will charge it. Now, it's going to take about 3 hours at 10 watts. I didn't quite sit around the whole time to actually time it exactly, but it does work. So if you happen to have a 10 watt charger out there, one of the faster Samsung ones or whatever, then you know it's going to work with it as well, which is great. Now, there have been some people asking about the GPS. Yes, it is dual frequency GPS. And the way to tell this is that when you log into this app here called GPS Test, it's all just one word. There's another app where it's separated. And when you finally, you'll see up here, you see level 1 under CF, and it will eventually say level 5. So you know then that it is using level 1, level 5. Of course, I'm indoors at the moment, so that's why it's not picking up. But I can confirm 100% that it is dual band GPS that they do have on this. So performance, as I covered, it is just really good. This is their fastest phone yet. Now, along the top here, I did point out, and yes, I'm being picky, but that top edge, you do get quite a bit of dust in there once it's in your pocket for just a day or two. I wish they didn't, have that recess, that earpiece in there. You can probably see already it has filled for a little bit of dust. So why am I showing you the notch with this close up? Well, it was going to be in my original video. A lot of you did notice that it went from a U shape to like a water drop style notch. And you can see now here at this angle, what they've done is they've turned on these pixels on that update to try and make it a little bit more of a water notch. See, when you move it like that, and you can probably see now the difference. So the deep black, of course, is the bezel and the bezel around the camera, the U-style notch. And then either side, you've got that dark there. And they turned that on by software. I don't even know why they did this. What's the point? I mean, just leave it as the U-shaped one. I think that was perfectly fine. And most people were happy with that. Now, this is probably why you are watching this video. Battery life, it's good. It's better than my Samsung S9 Plus, but it's not a hard phone to beat. Battery life on that phone is really quite bad. So you can see Google Play Store, I don't know why it's using so much here. I don't know what's going on, but it could be a bit of a bug with it. It seems to be using more CPU than it should. So I did some gaming. So I was playing Revolution 2 and also playing Heroes of Incredible Tales there. That's hit. YouTube, Chrome, WhatsApp is in there as well, but it's quite way down. I don't think this is very accurate too, by the way, the app use here. And you can see screen on time. Well, the screen was hardware right at the top. 7.5 hours. Pretty good. Now, I did go a little bit easier on the end on it because I was not using it continuously. So I feel most people are going to get about 6 hours, 7, maybe the 7.5 here. Now, that was with the screen set to most of the time 200 nits. But when I was outside, I had to increase the brightness because I just couldn't see the display very good at 200. So it's a definite plug-in every night, or put it on the wireless charger every night phone. So it's exactly like my Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. It won't make it through 2 days, sadly, which is disappointing. I wish they put a 4,000 mAh battery in here. And you can see that's the way things degraded there. Now, I did leave it one day because I used my Samsung S9 Plus, Galaxy S9 Plus. And I noticed that it had a bit of a problem going into a deep sleep. You can see at the bottom there that it was kept being woken up all the time. So it was either an app that was doing this. Now, I installed the same apps across all my phones, and it never causes any problems. But here it did for some reason. So I'm not saying this is Xiaomi's fault. I'm not saying it's the ROM. It could be my apps. I don't know. I just wanted to point it out that standby battery life for me has not been good at all. You can see over the day that I left it, it lost a lot of battery life, and I barely used it. Screen on time, you can see just a few little bits there when I had it on. So, not really great to see there. Now, there's been a few questions about the face unlocking. Now, if you do enable the face unlocking, what happens? You get adverts in the video app, and you also get some bloatware installed because you set your region to India. Now, why, Xiaomi, are they putting ads in their ROMs? This is disgusting to me, and this is even worse. Check this out. Okay. This is inside the Cleaner app that is part of the ROM. I'll show you where it is. And this is what happens. You get an ad in there. And a very inappropriate ad, I must add, by the way, because this says Amigos con Derechos, which is basically, it's like an adult dating site, what this is. And the ad, after I did the clean, popped up again. And that's just wrong. And no, I have not been looking at anything like that for AdSense to bring up adult dating sites. So this is really inappropriate. It's wrong. Xiaomi, why the hell are you doing this? I'll show you where it is. So if I swipe up, and you can see right here, Cleaner. So the security app, Deep Clean, any of these ones here that are right from your recent apps screen have adverts in them. And then if you're on, well, you got your region set to India, sorry. Then when you go into the video app, if you use that, it's going to be full of adverts as well. So you find your videos, and later the bottom quarter of it is all advertising, which is just really wrong. I don't know why they are doing that. So here we have Google's Gcam. I did install it. I know a lot of people keep asking me about that. Gcam, does it work? Does the Google Pixel 3 port work on it? Yes and no. So let's load it up. And depending on what version you're using, the camera will work. So you can take photos there, as you can see. Night sight mode, that does work as well. So you can go into night sight. And here are just a couple of samples that I did take. Now, I have noticed that sometimes the focus happens to be quite bad at nighttime. It really does struggle to get focus. So that is working. Only that, really, because if you try using the portrait mode, it'll crash. So portrait, that'll crash. It's crashed. Okay, it's gone. So portrait doesn't work. You try and use a front-facing camera, it will often crash. It would only take the photos at 5 megapixels. So obviously, a lot of work needs to be done. Hopefully, someone on XDA developers will be onto a port for the Mi 9, and then we can enjoy much better night sight, low light photography, because Xiaomi's, if you see my review, their night shot mode is not very good at all. All it's doing is just increasing the exposure, and it's just not good. Now, one other thing that I wanted to point out too is, yes, in the video mode, you've probably seen, hopefully you've seen my full review. So the samples there, this is one of the videos that I used. You see when you pan around with the 4K, you get brilliant electronic image stabilization. That's as good as the Google Pixel, I would say. But you do get this, what I will call jitter. You get like a bit of a stutter when you pan. So even though it's close to an almost 30 frames per second, it will sort of pause for a quick second in the video, and that's a result of the electronic image stabilization that is doing this. So it's not completely flawless. Hopefully Xiaomi, their software engineers, can tidy up and improve this. And yes, the phone does support Fortnite. I first went to search for it on Play Store. It's not there, so just go to the Fortnite official website. There you can download this right here, which is the installer, and it installs fine, but it's a massive download. It's 3.5 gigabytes. So the game only lets me run it in the epic resolution at 30 frames per second for some reason. If I try to put it to 60, you see it keeps going back to high there. I don't know why that is. So I'm going to try it on epic at 30 frames per second, 100% 3D resolution. So here we go. Frame rate so far looking really good. Now you're going to have to excuse my gameplay because I do not play this game at all. But there's absolutely no problems. This is super smooth. And really good graphics. Okay, someone's got their speaker on, their mic on, so there's a lot of noise coming through here. Okay, so you can see that this game's going to run fine, and I think it even does support controllers now, doesn't it, as well, so they're really good. Now we'll go over now and test out, of course, PUBG. A lot of you are asking for that. So with PUBG, this is the highest you can get. A lot of people were asking about Ultra HD, but it doesn't seem to support it, unless there's a way to override it. I tried some of those graphic tool apps, still couldn't get the Ultra HD, but it is on the extreme frame rate and HDR. So let's see how it runs, but every game it runs just absolutely flawlessly, and the fastest I've seen. Now you would have seen, I forgot to point it out with Fortnite, but we're getting this bar on the top because of the notch there, which is a little bit unfortunate. I don't know why they haven't scaled that out to the whole screen. It's just the way it is with the software. So there really is no point in me showing a lot of gameplay here, but I just wanted to point out that it is so smooth. This is the smoothest I have seen it running. There's absolutely no lag. It's just running at 60 frames per second here. So no trouble whatsoever. Now, it is getting a little warm on the back, but it does take time for it to heat up, but it seems to be quite a cool running chip. So no real problems there. I'm looking forward to seeing some of those gaming phones as well that will have some more thermal transfer pipes. And I'm dead already. So that's why I only show you short bits of gameplay, because, yeah, I completely suck at this game. Now, this question has popped up a lot too on the full review, is what would you buy? Because I know the Samsung Galaxy S9, S9 Plus are now selling for a very similar price because the S10 is out. You've got reduced prices everywhere. I mean, I bought this for 570 euros, and when it originally came out, it was about 900 here in Spain. So I'll be real quick here. Performance-wise, this definitely wins. Hands down, the Mi 9 is just so much quicker with everything, especially with gaming, just loading and getting around the UI once you start to multitask. Very, very quick. Camera-wise, I still think the S9 Plus has definite edge, especially with the front-facing cameras, because we've got autofocus on this one, although that autofocus can sometimes be a con. It can be a bit of a pain when it pulses in and out and it doesn't quite get a good lock, but you do get EIS, so electronic image stabilization, on the S9 Plus's front-facing camera where you don't hear. Rear cameras, the ultra-wide is very handy on this phone, so if you need the ultra-wide, I would probably go for the Mi 9, definitely there. Loudspeakers, although it's only got the one speaker at the bottom, it's nice and loud, it has a tiny little bit of bass to it, but I still think that the S9 Plus speaker is just a little better. And then in terms of build quality, well, they are both very good. Very close here. I'll give the slight edge, I think, the build quality and the design to the Galaxy S9 Plus. Of course, the camera on the S9 Plus does not bulge out like it does on the Mi 9. So the Mi 9's camera does stick out quite a bit there. So there we go. After 5 days, nothing's really changing here. It is a great phone, especially when you consider 449 euros is what I paid, delivered. Really quick delivery from Amazon. And the performance of it, the Snapdragon 855, it just flies. Any game that is out this year, it handles with ease. So you're going to get really smooth, fluid frame rates, no problems. The night sight's not so great. Those bugs I pointed out in my full review, the notch, okay, they changed it now to a bit of from a U to a water drop. I don't know. I'm not too fussed about that. And then, of course, notifications, they're not showing up. There's those other little things. So overall, it's a fantastic phone. Wait until we get, of course, a Google camera port over, and that's going to improve that low light, night shot performance. And then bug fixes from Xiaomi, they'll be coming through. Hopefully they can add electronic image stabilization to the front-facing camera, improve the audio quality in video as well, was one of my complaints. And then we have a real killer phone. Battery life, it's still, I think it's okay. It's good. You have to charge it every day. So overall, yes, it's a fantastic phone here from Xiaomi. Please do check out my full review if you haven't seen it already. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more.